Welcome. Welcome to this class, which is a meditation on presence. It's a celebration of presence and an invitation to move more deeply into it in our practice. And of course, you'd say that any yoga class is a meditation on presence. That is ultimately what we're constantly moving back into as we go deeper into our practice. The presence, and how I'd like to talk about it today, is as a process. We talk about becoming present. And it is this process, it is an act, and could be said to be one of the kindest acts that we can really offer ourselves and somebody else, is to become completely present to what's happening inside of us, to what they are saying to us, to listening with our full attention. And often when we think about stillness and meditation, we think about these practices as being passive. That's something that we are just settling into, or that when we are just being, we're not really doing anything. But actually we are engaging fully with the present moment, and it is a dynamic act in itself. Swami Chaitanananda talks about dynamic stillness when he talks about meditation. Really inside that space of stillness, there is so much that is happening and moving at the same time. So the stillness underneath the movement and the silence beneath the noise. And it's this particular movement of coming into presence, and presence as something that is active rather than passive, that we'll play with today. So please come to close your eyes as we move into presence. Got the lovely Frankie demoing for us today from Sunbeam Yoga. Thank you, Frankie. This beautiful space in Melbourne. And wherever you are, we'll move into presence together in our separate spaces, connecting through this practice of coming to be. As you come to be, allow your awareness to sensitize. Allow your awareness to go where it wants to go. Perhaps you want to anchor down into your seat first. And become aware of the heaviness of your seat and the weight pouring through your bones. Tune into the quality of air that is surrounding you. Perhaps the air is very still, or perhaps you can feel the breeze on your skin. Become aware of breathing in that particular quality of air. Become aware of the softness of your tissue. The tallness of your spine. The loyal structure of your bones. Presence is listening with full attention to whomever or whatever is happening inside the moment. It is honoring the moment and putting the content of the moment before our ideas and our judgments. And in that sense, presence is kind. It's neutral and open. It doesn't resist. It doesn't push anything away. It invites all the contents of the moment in and allows them to be there unconditionally. And can we be so present that we too listen in this way to ourselves and others with such open hearts and minds? Again and again, the invitation to move back into presence, to come to be And in doing so, to come to be more of ourselves, more of our true selves. We'll open the practice with one Om. Bring your hands together in front of your heart into Anjali Mudra. Release your breath. Inhale deeply. Release your hands and pause. Exhale out of your mouth. Become acutely aware of what is present inside the moments that followed the Om. Any feelings, any discomforts, any residual vibration. Allow it all to be present and accept the invitation into all the contents of that moment. Gently open your eyes and bring yourself to lie on your belly into a full pranam. So full pranam is a full body prostration. Frankie beautifully demonstrates for us. And I'm going to call this a fully present, full pranam. So bring your big toes to meet. Spread your toes wide against the floor. And as you root out and back through the big toe, feel the activation of energy running up the inner seam of your thighs, all the way up to the pelvic floor as it catches and gathers up to the low belly and draws all of that activation and engagement into center, up to the center of the chest, through your arms and out through your fingertips. As you connect so intentionally to that core line, feel a little lift as the belly button draws away from the floor. The low back is lengthening. Begin to breathe into the low back. Breathe into the complete activation of your body, which looks so seemingly passive in this very reverent pose. How more fully engaged with the present moment can you become? Full Ujjayi breath, guiding you back again and again into the activation and into the presence. And set the intention now to keep coming back here. Set the intention to allow presence to be a process of becoming, and in that process, becoming more of yourself. Keep the legs strong and activated. Keep the core line from the big toes. Bring your hands down in line with your waist. Hug your elbows in. Bring the heads of the arm bones up and away from the earth. Root down through the toes. Lift the thighs away from the knees. Let that energy draw up through the middle and sweep your heart gently forwards in a low Bhujangasana, low cobra. Big full breath all the way up to the collarbones. Activate the core a little more. Exhale, lower. Keep the engagement through the legs. Bring the big toes together. Press them into each other. Inhale, sweep the heart forwards. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bow in. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, lower. Forehead to the floor, pause. Bring your arms out into a T or cactus arms if you would like a deeper stretch. Dead man's roll. You're going to roll over onto your right side. Keep the shoulder and the right temple connected to the earth. Press into the left hand, so left hand is in line with your left shoulder. Left elbow points up towards the sky. Beautifully demonstrated, Frankie. Thank you. And like Frankie, you can step a foot behind you to give you more of a twist through your upper back, your thoracic spine. Or if it feels safer for you, keep the legs together. Move deeper into where you feel the most sensation. And simultaneously become present to your body against the mat, to all of the points of your body that are connected to the mat. Staying present to your breath and finding that even inhale and exhale through constricting the epiglottis to create your Ujjayi breath. One more inhale. Exhale, super slow, as slow as you can, moving through each tiny little increment of the transition to come back onto your belly so you stay present to every little movement. Second side, let's take a pause first. Breathe into the space between the shoulder blades. And whenever you feel the need to exhale out of your mouth, at any point through your yoga practice, let that go, let that energy and information pass through. It might be a yawn, it might be a sigh, it might be a bit of a moan or a groan. It's all okay here. Second side. Super slow again, move through the transition in increments. Keep the left shoulder connected to the earth, the left temple, press into the right hand and maybe step the left foot behind you. Find the still point in the pose. And simply be inside the experience of the pose, aware and attentive to all sensation. One more big full breath. As you exhale, super slow, take it back. Try and capture the contents of every movement and every moment. Take a pause. Let the breath be full. And bring your hands underneath your shoulders to press you back into a forearm child's pose. So send your hips back towards your heels and lower your forearms down towards the earth as if they were coming into a forearm plank or pincha mayurasana. Take a big exhale, and that's going to feel strong in the shoulders. It's in these seemingly passive moments when we are engaging in conversation with somebody or actually really listening to someone. We're not talking, we're not nodding, we're not agreeing, we're not trying to solve anything, we're not doing anything from the outside. But there is so much going on inside as we are actively and so attentively and lovingly present, holding that space for that person by offering them our presence. Inhale forwards to we're going to do a forearm cat-cow. So bring the shoulders over the elbows. Yeah, and like Frankie, you can bring your palms together if you wish, or you can keep your palms flat to the floor. Wrap the shoulders in, breathe into the upper back, and exhale, come into your cow version. Beautiful. And inhale into your cat, pressing the earth away. Super round of the spine. Beautiful, Frankie. And move in your own time to your own breath. Close your eyes. Become aware of your forearms pressing down into the earth, the knife edge of your bones pressing in. Pressing away from the earth. The meeting of your hands as they press evenly into each other. And on the next couple of rounds, take the deepest, sweetest, fullest breaths so you can move super slow. Try to get inside every single detail of the transition and pause at the top of the breath when you are in your cat or in your cow. Becoming so present to the fluidity and intelligence of your spine as you create space, as you generate synovial fluid, as you offer your spine your love and attention and presence. Come to a neutral spine. Press into the earth with your forearms. Exhale, press the earth away. Inhale into the upper back, round the upper back. So really get super, super rounded. Breathe into the space between the shoulder blades. Tuck the toes, lift the knees, reach the sit bones high for dolphin pose. Take a big exhale. Walk your feet in as far as you can at this point, being mindful that your hamstrings may be a little tight. The knees can be soft if they need to be. Press into the earth and sweep the sit bones high. Gather up through the low belly, the front ribs. Yes, pulling that front body to the back body. Place the hands as if for downward facing dog. Bend the knees deeply. Come into a deep seated chair pose. So walk the hands back to the feet. Find the heels. Bring the feet hip distance. And that's it. Now bring your upper body down towards your thighs. Great. Stick your bum way out behind you. Root down through the big toe mound. Hug the inner thighs towards each other while simultaneously keeping the knees tracking out over the second toe. Exhale, reach the fingertips forward and try and get your belly onto your thighs so you're taking the deepest seat you ever took in your whole life. Inhale a little higher. And exhale, let's come all the way up. Bring your hands down into prayer. Close your eyes, take a big exhale, bring your arms down alongside your body for Tadasana. Become present to your form in space. The patterning of your form, the modalities, the familiarities. And then just make any amends or adjustments you need to make to find the four corners of your feet. To get stronger through your legs. To find that gentle hugging in of the pelvic floor and the low belly, and to feel all of that energy traveling all the way up from earth through you into the center of your chest as it sweeps and opens. Your palms facing out, ready to receive your breath and all the contents of this moment without judgment, without trying to change anything. Becoming as open as presence itself. Open your eyes, inhale your hands to the sky. Exhale, take your seat into chair pose. Bring your hands down through center and bring your left elbow outside of your right knee. Stick your seat way back, stick your bum out, that's it. Now gather up through the inner thighs, pelvic floor, low belly. Press the palms into each other and bring your prayer hands into the center of your chest. Beautiful. Sorry, Frankie. I meant while you were still connected there. So as you press your leg and your elbow into each other. Inhale to center, take it through to the second side. Find the foundation first, find the engagement, and then see if you can get the extension and expansion through the chest as you open a little more towards the sky, broadening the collarbones. Inhale back to center, reach the arms high. Exhale, press into the earth, reach all the way up to the sky, bring your hands into prayer and bring them to the back of your head. Press the heels of your prayer hands into the back of your head, bring your feet together. Big toes press into each other. Inner thighs draw in and magnetize towards each other, and as they do, feel the thighs lift away from the knees. Catch the pelvic floor, low belly, and as you press the heels of the hands into the skull and the skull into the hands, feel how that brings the head of the arm bones back to broaden the collarbones. And as you do, check if your front ribs have popped out. Welcome to headstand. Close your eyes here. And inside this dark space, you can feel a little more tentatively and attentively as you're a little more wobbly in that center line. So really drop the awareness into the ball mound of the big toe. Press down into the earth with the big toe, press the toes into each other, and then hug the inner thighs more. Great job. And let it gather all the way up through pelvic floor, low belly. Find the engagement of the shoulders onto the back, the heads of the arm bones, pressing towards the back plane of your body. Keep all that engagement, open your eyes. Inhale up onto the balls of your feet, hug your inner ankles together. Catch yourself here. If it's available, otherwise lower the knees, but otherwise come down high on the balls of the feet and come all the way into a squat. And bring the hands down. If you need to bring the hands down, it's good, because the main thing we want to achieve is bringing the thighs and the torso to connect. So with hands either to the floor or in prayer, take a moment. Find out where you are leaking energy through your form. Can you hug the inner ankles in more, hug the inner thighs in, lift through the pelvic floor? With your hands walked out, draw your knees up towards your heart. And then we're going to slide forwards, bring our forearms forwards, bring our palms together. Try to keep the knees connected and then press into your dolphin pose from here. Beautiful. Set the foundation, press into the earth with the blades of your bones. Wrap the shoulders, pull the front body to the back body and press the earth away as you reach the sit bones high. Take 3 breaths. Come down to child's pose. Lower the torso onto the thighs. Find that connection. Press to downward facing dog. Inhale, ripple yourself forwards to plank pose. Move super slow and exhale, send the hips back to dog. Take a few rounds like this with big, full breath and use the space of the breath to give yourself more time to experience every little detail of movement as you ripple forwards. Pull the front body to the back body and now lift the hips, lift the sit bones, ripple through the curve of the spine. Beautiful. Inhale forwards to plank and come down onto your forearms for forearm plank. And again, you can either have the palms of the hands together, which I like, I prefer it, feel it's a little more supportive, or your palms flat to the floor. Draw everything into center here. So from the mound of the big toe, let everything get super strong connected through the midline of the body, through the legs, pull the front body to the back body. Big inhale, exhale, bring the right knee to the right upper arm. Exhale, send it back. Big inhale, exhale, left knee to left upper arm. Inhale back. Exhale, right knee to right upper arm. Inhale back. Exhale, left knee to left upper arm. And send it back. Press to downward facing dog. Find the strongest, most stable down dog that you can, drawing attention into the palm knuckles. Become super present to that connection that you are making with your hands to the earth and the intention that you are setting through that connection to be strong, to be grounded. Press into that connection. Arms hug strongly towards each other and sit bones reach towards the sky to find all that length through the spine. Draw the front body to the back body a little more. Yeah, nice, Frankie, super strong. And now reach your sit bones even higher. Oh yeah, amazing. Walk your hands back to your feet. Padmuttanasana. Bring your hands to your big toes. So you're gonna hook your peace fingers around your big toe and then seal the top of the toe with your thumb. Bend your knees if you need to. Inhale, halfway lift. Lift through the back of the hamstrings. Sit bones reach skyward. Heart reaches forward. Draw the chin in. Pause here. We're going to take a few breaths in this extension. So come into full extension and stay there. Press the big toe mound down as you try to lift the toe up. Hug the legs towards each other, reach the sit bones high, and now gather up through the low belly to bring the heart even further forward. Yeah, beautiful. Exhale, bow in. And now pause here. Take 5 full breaths. With every exhale, send the sit bones a little higher. With every inhale, gather in, connect more, engage more fully, and activate more fully through your legs, through your tissue, drawing your muscles into your bones so that your legs are lit up, they are alive, and then reach the sit bones a little higher as you melt the heart towards the thighs. Inhale, halfway lift, reach the heart forward. Exhale, bow in and come into the second form of this pose. Come to stand on your palms. So the backs of the hands are to the earth and the toes come right into the creases of the wrists. Inhale, halfway lift, pull the belly back, reach the heart forward. Exhale, bow in, bend the elbows out wide. And then bring the shoulders up away from the earth. So the heads of the arm bones draw back even here, in today's class for sure. Take 3 more breaths. Present to all the contents of each breath. Release your hands, bend your knees, root down through your feet. Inhale, come to rise. Reach your hands all the way up to the sky. Exhale, hands into prayer. Close your eyes. And your choice, either hands down to Tadasana or keep your hands in prayer. Big exhale out of the mouth. Move into the potency of the moment. Presence is potency. It clarifies and distills what it is that we want to say, and it brings us into the heart of reality, where we can abide there in presence as long as we can just be. Move into the potency of this present moment. Open your eyes and bring your hands behind you. Take hold of your elbows. If you wish to do reverse prayer, then by all means do. And we're going to come into pyramid pose. So take a big step forward with your right foot, Frankie. Good. And you can step the back foot out a little, so you've got a nice wide stance for pyramid pose. And let's get the foundation set up first. Root down through the big toe mound. Find that engagement and that lighting up all the way through the inner thighs. Catch through the pelvic floor, low belly. And then bring the heads of the arm bones back here. So instead of the arm bones being forward, feel that beautiful connection, that integration of the shoulders onto the back, and how that really opens up the heart space. Reconnect through the front body if that's starting to pop forwards, so you can feel the low back and the arms pressing into each other. Root down, inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, hinge at the hips as you reach your heart forwards. Pause here, lift the thighs away from the knees, get the legs super strong and switched on. Same with the core, press the low back into the arms, and then exhale, fold as fully as you can over that front leg. Keep rooting through the feet and keep that dance of those strong quad muscles as you bring them back into activation again and again and again. Your invitation to them to keep getting present, get present. Lift the thighs away from the knees. One more big full breath into the space between the shoulder blades, the back of the heart. Yes, beautiful lift of the shoulders away from the earth, Frankie. Exhale and inhale to rise, strong through your core. Beautiful. Release your arms, step back into Tadasana, close your eyes and drink it in. Every sensation, every movement, every emotion, all of these energies inside of you and simultaneously around you, become present to all of the contents. And in this repetitive becoming, this coming to be, this process of presence, we get more skillful at coming closer to our true selves. Deep, full breath. Open your eyes, second side. Bring your arms behind. Maybe go for the opposite fold. Step the left foot forwards. Yeah, nice big wide stance so that your hips can align straight front. Root down through the big toe mound, draw all the energy up through the inner seam of the body, coming all the way up into the heart, and then connect the shoulders onto the back. Heads of the arm bones come back. Big inhale, lift through the chest. Exhale, fold forwards. Pause halfway. Gather in and up again through the legs. Lift the thighs away from the knees. Gather through the core. And then exhale, reach your heart towards the earth a little more as you come into the fullest expression for you, the fullest extension. Keep lift the thighs away from the knees. And try to play this time with drawing sit bones to tailbone and see if that gives you a little more external rotation. 3 breaths. On the next inhale, strong through your legs, come to rise. Release the hands, hands to the hips, step whichever way, back or forward. Take a moment, close your eyes, move back into breath. And drink in the second side. Open your eyes and take a big step out so that all toes face along the length of the mat. Yeah, we're going to come into Prasarita Padottanasana, wide-legged forward fold. Interlace your hands behind you, and you can bend the elbows if that helps you to start to bring the heads of the arm bones back and get that connection, or simply reach the hands down towards the earth. Root down through the feet, lift the toes away from the floor, and then find the outer edge of the foot. Gather up through the legs, lift the thighs away from the knees, reach the heart all the way up to the sky, bring the shoulder blades onto the back, and exhale, begin to hinge at the hips as you reach your heart forwards. Bring the arms all the way over. Pour the weight a little further forward into the balls of the feet. Super big full breath all the way into the heart space, up towards the collarbones. And now as you draw the legs towards each other and switch on and get even more present to your foundation and to the activation in your legs, can you let the hamstrings sing a little more as you reach your sit bones high? Three breaths. Prasarita Padottanasana is C, I think it's C, where we hook the big toes with your peace fingers and seal the big toe with your thumb. If that isn't available to you, you can bring your hands to bricks or hands to the earth. Either way, as you reach your sit bones high and lengthen through the hamstrings, lift your shoulders away from the earth so your shoulders are not slooping down. The heads of the arm bones draw back and up, and there is a complete integration of shoulders onto the back as your torso reaches towards your thighs and your sit bones and pelvic floor reach towards the sky. And take 3 breaths here. Walk your hands around to frame your right foot, so turn all the toes to face the top of the mat. Take yourself into a plank pose. Hold in plank. Connect to the earth. Hug your arms together. Super strong through the center line of your body. Exhale to chaturanga and inhale back to plank. Exhale to chaturanga. Inhale back to plank, and exhale, sail it back to downward facing dog. Anchor in through your hands, the engagement of your muscles to your bones, the wrap of the shoulders, the sweep of the sit bones towards the sky, and the corseting of the front body to the back body. So supported and strong in this pose that we can pause inside our practice here, inside all of the dynamism that is happening in your body right now. That point of stillness is there, waiting. Walk your hands back to your feet. Bring your feet together, bend your knees, and so your torso comes onto your knees, and you can come into a squat, Frankie. Yeah, and then lower your torso onto your knees and keep your knees high up. You got it. Squeeze your inner ankles together, squeeze your legs together. And as you hug your inner ankles together and bring the fronts of your feet forwards, hug through the inner thighs so you get this big lift through the pelvic floor as the thighs really want to connect and they don't want to let go of your torso. You're going to bring yourself down onto your forearms. Try to keep the thighs connected to the knees at the whole time. Lower the crown of your head to the earth. Keep the thighs as connected to the torso as possible. Press into the earth with your forearms and maybe draw one knee in and then maybe the other knee will draw in too. Cosmic egg. Stay in cosmic egg, so keep the knees hugging in towards your chest. And if you're not in cosmic egg, come into dolphin. And wherever you are, press into the earth with your forearms and corset your front body to your back body. Take 3 more breaths. Come all the way down. Take a child's pose. Become present to everything that is happening inside of you now. Whichever form of the inversion you took, whether it was dolphin or cosmic egg, this first form of headstand, you are in an inversion and all of that fresh blood has now nourished your brain, sending signals of calm to your nervous system. Can you be present to all of the movements that are happening inside of your intelligent body? And come to kneel. Come into a Vajrasana. We're going to come into a full headstand. So now we've worked with this connection of the thighs towards the torso, the midline power of connecting all the way through the big toes, all the way up through the pelvic floor. And we've also got this connection of the head of the arm bones back. So if you wish to come straight up, if you have headstand in your practice, then by all means go on up and have a nice time up there. Frankie's going to take us in there one step at a time. And she brings her hands to the earth. Elbows are underneath shoulders or a little narrower. She presses into the earth and drops the crown of her head down. Her shoulders now connect onto the back. There's no dropping of the shoulders. And she walks her feet in, finding that connection of thighs to torso. And I've got her if she needs it, but she doesn't. And you can either stay in cosmic egg or reach up through the balls of the feet. Find that connection, reach through the big toe mound and find the inner seam of the legs. Stay in headstand as long as you wish. If headstand is something that is a little far away in your practice, then please come to legs against the wall, or you can come to place a brick or a cushion underneath your sacrum as you lie on the mat. She'll demo the modified version. And lift your feet to the sky. Wherever you are, your practice is to stay present to all the micro movements and all the contents inside the moment, to each breath and the space between each breath, to the dynamism and the stillness, to the silence and the sound. you are in headstand, please slowly transition out. Keep your crown of your head on the earth and bring your arms out wide. Let your shoulders completely drop down. Stay here for 5 breaths, the biggest, fullest breaths, as you continue that process of rejuvenation from your inversion. And presence is softness. Presence is surrender. Presence is breath. Presence is listening. Presence is staying open when we want to close down. It's keeping our mouths shut when we think we've got our 6 pence to add. It's listening to our wisdom and knowing when to speak and when to be still. Come into kneeling Vajrasana. Keep your eyes closed. Let your palms rest on your thighs. Take a big exhale out of your mouth. Soften your jaw and your brow. Draw your chin a little closer to your chest. Allow your heart to swell as you listen for a few moments. Become aware of the tops of the feet and press them more firmly into the earth. And as you press the toenails into the earth, feel that energy travel into your legs, into your pelvic floor. Start to hug your thighs together across space. Open your eyes and come into a kneeling stand. Bring your knees hip distance apart for Ustrasana pose. If you have Ustrasana in your practice, please go ahead. We're going to go first stage. Bring your hands behind you to support your sacrum. Press down through the tops of the feet, hug the legs together, anchor the tailbone down, bring the shoulder blades onto the back, sweep the heart. This might be enough. If you have a little more, gather up through the pelvic floor and really start to send the heart skyward, and the gaze follows the heart. And if you wish from here, you can reach back for your heels. Have the thumbs on the outside of the heel and the fingers on the inside to really get that big external rotation through the shoulders. Keep gathering through the foundation, through the legs, through the pelvic floor. And as you gather in and up through the solar plexus, can you burst your heart open just 1 more inch? I mean, an inch is quite big, maybe a centimeter. It's pretty massive in heart opening stakes. If your head is back, your head is going to be the last thing to come forward. So bring your hands back to your sacrum. Use your core and come to sit your seat towards your heels, and then your head will follow. Close the eyes, drink it in. Take any exhales, any releases. Bring yourself into Siddhasana or Sukhasana, cross-legged pose, easy pose, either with the ankle bones lined up or cross-legged. Sit on a prop if you need to, and close your eyes. Release the breath. Release any holding in your hips or your legs. Release your pelvic floor down. And allow the base of your pelvis to be rooted, steadying you into the moment. If you wish to stay in meditation, by all means do. Please do make sure that you take a couple of twists to close your practice. Otherwise, find your way into a supine position. Come to lie on your back, in other words. Draw your knees into your chest, bring your arms out into a T, or you can cactus the arms. Hug the legs together and take both knees over to your right side. Keep the left shoulder connected and turn the gaze to the left if that feels okay on your cervical spine, on your neck. If you wish to have a deeper twist, you can cross the legs or bring the knees higher to the armpits. And your practice really in this seemingly passive pose is to actively communicate with the sensations in your body and make slight adjustments, incremental movements to open a little more, maybe sending the hip further away from you or finding a little more connection of shoulder to earth. Maybe it's a softness that needs to come into the pose, but your practice is always coming into a more intimate relationship with the body inside the pose, with the sensations that are happening and with the moment itself, the invitation to become more intimate with reality through the act of becoming present. On your next inhale, one leg at a time, bring yourself back to center. Pause in the middle. And exhale your legs over to the second side. Soften and soften and soften. Allowing your breath to hush you into surrender and softness and towards Shavasana. One leg at a time, bringing yourself back to center. Reach your legs all the way out. You can take a squeeze if you wish, or any final pose that calls to you before you come to rest. Make any adjustments in your Shavasana so your shoulders are down and away from your ears, your palms face up, your legs and your feet flop to the side. And bring your awareness to the space between your eyebrows. Soften at the bridge of the nose. Soften around all the tiny muscles in your eyes, releasing Release the jaw and the skin around the face and the back of the neck, the shoulders and the backs of the arms. Release the belly. Allowing your body to do the digesting of the experience. Letting go of any doing. Release the thighs, backs of the knees, the calves, all the way down to the tips of your toes. And take sweetest rest as you move back into presence again. Become aware of your whole body lying on the floor. And become aware of the parts of your body that are not connected to the floor, spaces in between. Send your awareness down to the tips of your fingers. And before you make any movements, set the intention to be present to the entire process of awareness coming into the tips of the fingers, and then the tiniest micro movements that you can bring into your fingers. So present to each one. And you can do the same with your toes. Elongating the process of waking up so that we can drink in every last detail. And come to your preferred side in whichever way that you choose. You may like to take a stretch, you may like to draw your knees in, you may like to simply roll to one side. Keep the eyes closed as you move gently and generously. Any sighs or releases that come at any point, let them go. Let all of that information that your body is working so intelligently to digest and process, let it move through you. And in your own time, come to take a comfortable seat. And close your eyes. Present now to this meditative, receptive pose. Present to your state of being. Can we witness more and miss less of our lives by becoming increasingly fascinated with the dynamic act of becoming present? And in that repeated act of becoming, can we come to be more of our true selves, more connected to ourselves, more active and passive, dynamic and still, open and contained, within and without? May we come to be more present in more of our life, so that we can move inside the beauty of each moment. Bring your hands together in front of your heart, Anjali Mudra. I deeply bow to you and your presence, your practice and your intention to become. Thank you, and thank you to Frankie. Namaste.